Anonymous Watch Guy here with an unboxing and overview video. Quick wrist check. We're on the Scurfa Treasure Seeker today. Really awesome watch. Today I have another cool watch from Watchdives. And there's one thing that Watchdives is really good at. It is Seiko homages. Picked up the Tuna homage not too long ago. And I have another one here today. Comes in the standard Watchdives snap black plastic case. Got a user manual and your Watchdives warranty card in there. Kind of the standard you would expect to see from a lot of these Chinese brands now. But let's take a closer look at this one. This is the Watchdives. It's kind of a turtle or Captain Willard homage. I think this one's trying to be the SPB 301. Which is the Prospect Save the Ocean 1970 diver recreation that had that kind of a muted blue bezel with the textured white silvery dial. I think this one is trying to look like that one, and I think it does a decent job, especially for the price point. Now, this is a little bit larger than that watch. That watch is a 42.7 millimeter watch. This one I measured at 43.8 millimeters, so it's basically a 44 millimeter watch. It does have a 20 millimeter lug opening. I measured it at 47.3 millimeters lug tip to lug tip and 13.5 millimeters thick. So it is not a small watch, and it's definitely a little bit hefty as well. You do have a screw-down crown there at your 4 o'clock position that is signed with the Watchdives logo. You do have a sapphire crystal on this one. Does look like it has a little bit of AR on it as well with that blue tint. You get a flat sapphire crystal on this watch, which again for the price point is pretty awesome and something Seiko doesn't give you anywhere near this price point. This watch only cost me $130. That's right, $130 is all I paid for this watch. I got this one on Amazon. It is obviously available from Watchdives as well. Not sure if this is a ceramic bezel insert or not. I have to go back and look at the website. It looks like a ceramic bezel insert though, honestly. This is running the Seiko NH35 movement, so you've got an NH35 movement in there. So you know you've got a workhorse, tried and true movement you're not going to have any issues with. But a really nice looking watch. I love that textured dial. Definitely has a little bit of a silver or sparkly effect to it in some light as well. But in most lights it looks like it's just plain white. But a really nice looking textured dial on a watch that costs just over $100 US. That is pretty crazy. I don't think these indices are applied. They're just framed. Just kind of a framed indices on the dial here. You have your Watchdives logo there beneath the 12 o'clock position. Automatic and water resistant to 200 meters right there above the 6 o'clock. Got a silver outlined date window over there at the 3 o'clock position. Kind of a sword style handset there. And then you've got your Seiko-esque seconds hand there, very similar to the ones you find on the watch I mentioned earlier. All done in 316L stainless steel, mostly high polish on the sides of the case. Do have some brushing on top of the case. Again, circular brushing on top of the lugs there. High polish side of the case. Nice coin edge on the bezel. Overall, the finishing is pretty solid, again, for a watch that costs far less than $200 US. You do have a 120-click unidirectional bezel. And the bezel action is pretty good. The bezel's a little bit stiff to turn. It sounds pretty good. There might be just a tick of play until it clicks into place, but once it clicks into place, it does not move. And it also seems to, I think I clicked it one click too far there, so that'll drive me crazy. It also seems to line up pretty well. which is more than you can say for many Seikos. It might be just slightly off. I think the angle kind of causes it to look a little bit off as well. But the bezel action is solid on this watch. Really like that nice deep blue bezel insert. I think it looks really good in contrast with the white on the dial. The bracelet isn't great. It is a little bit jangly. Nothing spectacular. About what you'd expect on a budget Seiko, honestly, as well. Pretty similar as far as bracelet quality. Not the greatest. It is sized with split pins. You do have your Watchdives signed clasp with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 micro adjust positions. Pretty cool there. Gonna fit well. Dual trigger deployment, all milled. And then you've got your just screwed in case back with your Watchdives logo and a little bit of specs running around the outside of the case there. Nothing too fancy, pretty standard for most of these Watchdives watches as well. But a really nice looking watch. Love the look of that dial. Love the contrast with the blue and the white. I think this does a really good job of being a homage to some of those Seiko divers that I mentioned earlier, the SPB 301 in particular. But a really nice looking watch from Watchdives, and at $130 US, the price is right. Let's take a look at the Loom on the watch, and then we'll see what it looks like on my 7.5-inch wrist. All right, here's the Loom on the watch. It is pretty darn good. You could see that the bezel insert is also loomed. Looks like BGW9 loom. Nice blue glow. Goes well with the blue and white theme on the watch. All your indices glow very nicely there, as well as the handset. And very solid loom, again, on a watch that costs far less than $200 US. Here is the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. You can see it is a larger watch. It's also a hefty watch. The watch head, I think the weight of the watch head is a little disproportionate to the weight of the bracelet. It's a little bit top heavy, but it wears comfortably. Definitely has nice presence on wrist. Under 50 millimeters lug tip to lug tip, so it's not going to overhang your wrist by any means. But that large 44 millimeter diameter, it's going to give it great wrist presence. Probably not for the smaller wristed individuals, but it looks really good on wrist, and I really like that textured dial. Another winning homage from Watchdives. If you liked the video, give me a like, maybe subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.